This is Field Notes from the Proving, short reflections from inside the process of building a life that's earned, not perfected, earned. Your coffee tastes the same the next morning. Nothing dramatic happens. No trumpets, no heroic music, just a quiet morning. And that's the strange part, because declaring something doesn't actually change your life. Not yet. Declarations feel powerful, but the story isn't about declaration. The real story is about the battles fought after it. The morning after the declaration felt strange. Nothing really intense, not chaotic, almost calm. Like the psychological version of a hangover, if that makes sense. You know that feeling when you have a great night with like a friend and you split a bottle of wine and you're laughing and you talk about life, you say things you maybe wouldn't normally say, you're a little bit more outgoing. And then the next morning, everything is kind of normal again, and you still have work, like the responsibilities are there, you have your to-do list or your reminders, and they're going off on your iPhone or something. But something like feels different, like the trajectory shifted by just 1 degree. The night before, something like moved the plane, and now the destination will eventually be different. That's what that morning felt like. Nothing had changed, but like everything changed. And strangely, the voices weren't as loud. Part of me thought, maybe they might come back demanding forgiveness from me, but they didn't, or at least not yet. And I still don't know if they were silent or just surprised. And there was another difference too. For most of my life, I never told anyone about the formula. It was almost like the first rule of a secret system. You just don't talk about it. You don't even acknowledge it to anyone externally. Because if you tell people about the plan, then you create expectations. And then expectations create pressure. Pressure creates risks. And risks means you might disappoint someone. And most things in my life happened quietly. People saw the outcomes, but they never really saw the process. Maybe they knew the process was taking place, but they never really saw it in action. This was different because now I was like telling people, friends, family, people I looked up to, and their reactions were interesting, honestly. Some people were excited for me, genuinely excited, pumped. They wanted to be there for me. Some people were curious and skeptical, but they were like, great, go for it. Let's see what happens. And some people had that look. The one where you could kind of tell they were wondering why. And a few people assumed they already knew the answer, which is funny. Because I didn't even know the answer yet, quite honestly. I just knew I needed to try something different. And saying it out loud felt risky because for the first time, if I fail, people will actually see it and I'll have to explain it. But then good news kind of rolled right around, the part that I was most familiar and really happy to start: preparation. We love a good plan. And if you're someone who has lived inside systems for a long time, preparation feels amazing. You start imagining the new version of yourself, the runner, the carefree person not living inside the system, the person who wakes up early, the person who has discipline in a new direction, who has autonomy and agency and freedom to think and choose who they want to be. You start researching, in this case, researching and looking for new shoes, looking at the reviews for the best training apps, reading about running plans and the best ways to optimize the running plans in order to be successful and actually achieve the half marathon kind of check mark, if you will. Learning about pacing, stretching, fueling, recovery, and every small decision that you make and every piece of facts and information that you gather all feels like progress. Even though you haven't really done anything yet, the preparation is exciting because it's just new and inviting. And to some degree too, if I have to call it what it is, preparation is just another feeling of control here. Slowly, all the pieces started to come together. I picked the right shoes, or at least ones based on reviews that looked great. I created the plan through my Runa app. I was excited. The AI coaching in it was amazing. I loved the platform. I was going to test it out and see if I should upgrade to a pro plan later on. I had the commitment. I was determined to try something new and take on just a new meaning in life through running. And then the night before the first run, I remember laying it all out. Not because I had to, but because it felt symbolic, like a quiet ceremony. It felt like it was a ceremony honoring and hoping for the new person that I wanted to become. And that was to be someone different, an athlete who can change on the fly, adapt to new circumstances, and just experience things vividly in all aspects. Because yes, I did sign up for a half marathon and I do have to train, but in a strange way, this run felt like something else. It felt like I was running away from the person I had been and symbolically running towards someone I hadn't met yet. And it's just a beautiful feeling, standing at the edge of just something new, not knowing who was going to show up tomorrow. And ironically, the formula wasn't firing signals telling me who will either. But I also didn't know there was some skepticism, of course, of would the perfectionist show up tomorrow? The person who wants to crush the run, outlast, outprove, and be the best? Was it going to be the competitor who's going to want to beat the suggested time and prove the AI coaching wrong? Or was it going to be the optimizer who's studying every single pace, heart rate, and metric to perform and be, better than I ever could have wildly imagined? Who knows? Or just someone even completely different. This was all for the first run. And it was a simple one. 3.5 miles, conversational pace, nothing heroic, just a simple run in August of 2024. For me, the real question wasn't the distance. Again, the real question was who would show up to run it tomorrow. That night, everything was ready. The shoes were set, the plan was clear, the alarms were set. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't trying to perfect anything. I was just preparing to begin because the declaration had already happened. And the only thing left now was to take the first step. Tomorrow, I run.